DIALux evo 9.2 is released. Go and download it if you don't have it yet. We will take advantage of that and learn how to make an effective documentation in it, and we will also learn about the new features evo 9.2 has. Stick around. Once you are done with the construction and the light, the next move is the documentation. Once inside, we have two vertical tabs here, page selection and layout. We also have three options of output in this version. We have the classical, output we all know, the report, and now we have the presentation and the table. But these two here are pro features. This is a pro feature to enable the function, and for further information about the pro feature, click on Learn More. Let's go and click on Learn More to learn more. It takes us to this page. It says DIALux Pro Features. We have here the documentation layouts. This is already there. And we have the Pro feature export formats. Additional export of the documentation as presentation or table output as Word, Excel or PowerPoint. Let's go to product. On here we have some requirements and we have some notes. It is not possible to use pro features on virtual machines. Our offer is aimed exclusively at commercial customers. For a single user, it's 9.99 euros per month. Team license 9.99 euros per month, and then you can go ahead and try it for 14 days. It's a free trial. And then on here, if you are maybe a team of 15, I don't know, you can just write 15 or maybe 10 or I don't know how many you are, and then you can go and buy it. And here we have a pricing scale which depends on the number of licenses. The first license, it's 9.99, and the more licenses you want, the less the price is getting. Anyways, this is just, for you to know. Okay, let's go and say close, and let's go back to our free magical report. And I hope it's always going to be free. And on here you have the page format. You can go ahead and select your favorite page format. And yes, you have here full page, and then you have page width. You can also go ahead and make this bigger or smaller by clicking minus or plus, or just go directly and move this one here. Okay, I want it to be 100. This is okay. And then you have save as and print. This is when we will finish. But if you go and say save for this one here, it's only gonna save this, cover page. But we wanna save the entire documentation. It's not ready yet. We need to go and edit. If you wanna start editing your output, you just click on edit, and you have this. The first thing we have here is that it says light scene 1. If you want to know more about the light scenes, go to this video here in this eye and watch it. You're gonna learn a lot. Okay, and here it says all. That means that all of these elements are checked. You can check all of them or uncheck all of them, just depends on how you proceed, but I will go and uncheck all of them, so as I will go and check the elements I want to include in my report one by one. This is my way of working. I go and click on the cover page, but it's already there. But if you are somewhere else, you go and click on it. I want to include it, so I check it, and I have this. I go to configure page here, and here's what I have. It says project information, project information and addresses can be changed in project mode. Change to project mode. So we can click here and it will take you here, or just go here directly without clicking here. But let's click here, it's gonna take us here. In this part you have the project name. You can go ahead and change it. Let's make it site plan. Something like that. And it's there, a brief description. You can write something. It's an outdoor project for YouTube video tutorials, something like that. And then you have the date. I have started this project in this day, the 18th January 2021. I can go and you can go and change it. Like if you click here, you can go and change the date. You can do that, and if you want it to be the date of today, you can just go and click today and it's the date of today. The address of the project, let's say Morocco. The description, you can just go ahead and write something. I don't know. You can say blah 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 blah. Just depends. And also you have the project image. It's just there to help you. It's not going to be in the output. Nobody's gonna see it, but it will help you, like recognize the project or something like that. So let's just go and select image. Let's take this one for example, and you have it there just to recognize your project. You can select image by clicking on it again, or can go and delete it like this one. But let's go and choose it again. I have it there, and here you have the project participants. It depends, I don't know. You can say, you can add yourself, the person who has worked on it. Let's say, yes, Saeed Hussein, it's me. And then you can go ahead and add someone else, like Mr. something, I don't know. The company is something company 2. The address of the company is somewhere maybe in the US, and the telephone is something, and then the role of that something, and then the description if you want to add something, and the email, etc. And if you are not happy with with this, you can just go and delete them, or delete each part and change it, or go to remove and it's gonna be removed, and you can take this up, or just move it down another time, like this. For example, Mr. something and Mr. something are working on this project. This is the client, for example, and this is the editor of the project. You can go ahead and add a third one. And then you can go ahead and add another one. You can add as many as you want. I think so. I don't know if there is a limit, but you can go ahead and try it yourself. Okay, you can go and add the logo or the image of your client, or maybe the person you are working with, etc., etc. And once you are finished with this project part, you can go to the documentation, and there's something that appears, contacts. Before, we went to project to add all these elements, we didn't have contacts, but now we have them. Okay, let's go and take a look on preliminary remarks. We have some things here. You can go to configure page and then add the remarks, etc. But let's go back to cover page. I wanted to tell you some more things. We have here views and images. To edit images, click directly on images or placeholders in the preview. Let's go back. And if you hover over this image, it says click here to change images. So let's click. It's, a fantastic tool, you know. DIALux suggests to you these images. I didn't take any of them, but it just did this on its own, which is like so helpful. It's gonna help you increase your workflow a lot. And look, we have this logo here. It is showing it here because we have imported it in the project part. But anyways, we're not going to use it here. You have a bunch of photos here. If you don't like this one here, for example, you can go ahead and select this one here by double clicking on it, or by going to this arrows here. You click on them and it's gonna change. I will do the same here, and I will go back to this one, and then here you can move this rectangle. You can trim it like this. If you wanna, for example, show only this part, you can just trim it and move it wherever you want. Maybe you wanna show only this part, or maybe only this part. And then you can go and say apply, and then it's gonna be there. Voila. You can go and click on it once more and say, yes, I want this one. I want to enlarge the canvas. I have this. Maybe I want to trim it again. I will move it this way. I want to show only this part here. Then I will say, you can discard the changes, as well as you can just say apply. And you have this. If you click again here, well, let's go to images. If you click on them, you have file and you have settings. By default, it says insert image suggestions directly. You can go and uncheck that, and it says you have this message here: image suggestions are no longer inserted automatically in the documentation. This is always valid for all pages of the documentation, but I want them to be inserted automatically, so I will go back to settings and check this, and it said image suggestions are inserted automatically, etc., etc. Okay, you know everything about images now. You have now on this little tab here, it says all images, and on here it says views, but we didn't take any view. There are currently no images in this category, and we have imported images. We have imported this one, and these ones here are not imported, but DIALux imported them itself. And then we have ray trace images. We didn't take any. And then suggestions. These are the suggestions. Okay, let's go and say apply. We want this one to be in our cover page for now, because we will talk about that later on. Okay, we have in this right hand side at the top, we have layout alternatives. We have this one and then this one. I click this one twice. The image is moving to the left hand side and it's sticking to the edge of our page, which I don't really like, because it reminds me of the previous versions of DIALux evo, when this image of the cover page was sticking to this right hand side, which I didn't really like. And I was happy when I had this, when I had the possibility to move it a little bit to the middle. Okay, that's everything for the images. If you go back to here, we have header and footer. The content of header and footer is the same on all pages. You can go and select a logo, this one. You have it there. You can go and delete it. You can go and change it. The footer, you can go and write, I don't know, if your company has magical sentence, I don't know, that puts it out of trouble, I don't know, I am not blah 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 blah, or we are not, etc., etc. Or you can just go ahead and write like an email, or maybe I don't know, or website, etc., www dot something dot something dot something, etc. I don't know. And then you can say hide header on this page, hide footer on this page. Just depends where you want to hide it and where you want to show it. And if you go to this little thing here, you can click on it and it says use on all pages of this report, and you can say use as standard for the next projects. You can say set to standard report, as well as you can say reset to DIALux standard settings, which is nothing. If I click on it, all of this is gonna disappear. Anyways, I will just go back and say select. I will select this logo here and write, okay, and write something. Okay, and this part here, it's because as I told you in this project part, you can write a description. This is a description, and this description goes here to description, to this element here. If you take a look on it, here is what you have. What we have written in the project is there, but in the cover page, it's another project for YouTube video tutorials. It's what we have written in this brief description. It's there. Let's go back to documentation and let's, yes, we are in cover page. Let's go to configure page and let's go and write something. I don't know exactly what to write here. And if you go back to page view, you have this. It's like the font size is smaller than this one here that we have written in the project tab, and the object is Senegal, Morocco. It's there. It's the address, the date, and a brief description, the name. There's everything in that cover page. Date, the logo, the name of the project, a brief description, and then that text we have written over here. Okay, if you go to preliminary remarks, you can add some remarks here. You can just go to configure page and write something again. And you have the header and the footer. You can, if you go to back here, if you don't want to show your logo here, you can go and say hide the header, and it's gonna disappear in this page, but the footer is gonna be there. We can go and hide the footer too, and then we don't have anything for this page, but I don't want to include it, so I will not check it. The content, yes, I want to include the content, so as the concerned people are gonna understand what's included in my report. So for now, we only have the cover page and the content. They are the two that are, checked. If we add Luminal list, for example, and let's refresh this, let's go here and come back then to content. So it knows now that we have added Luminal list and it's there. Okay, this content here, we are, by the end, it's gonna be like full of those elements we are going to be adding to our output report. Okay, content and then contacts. We have this. If you go back to project, the first one, it is in the left, second one in the right, and then this one here is in the extreme right. For example, let's move this one here up. It's gonna appear in the left hand side. It's there, and the rest of contacts is in the right, and you can go and add some, add their logos, etc. Okay, this one here, for example, and this one, add this one, and then let's go to documentation. It takes some time. My computer is not the best. I will have to change it soon, I guess. So you have this. Okay. The same thing here, you can go and hide or show the header or the footer, or you can go and change the project informations by clicking here or by just going to project directly. Now you know everything about the contacts, the description. There will be a lot of descriptions, coming, so I prefer not to add these descriptions here. I will not add this one, even though DIALux suggests some views here, but I will not include them. It says images, I will not include any images here, but it depends again on the nature of your client. If it's a private owner, or if it's an architect, a design office or something, the kind of informations you want to include in your report, in your output, depends a lot on the concerned people. Okay, you can also make this zone here bigger by just pulling this like this, but I prefer it something like that. It's not that bad. Images, I will not add any images here. Luminal list, it will be somewhere there, so I will not include this one here. I can go, and if your client needs to see the product data sheet, you can go and select them. If you click on it, on one of them, you have this here. What is it? Yes, you have this. You have the image of the product. You have some other informations, but the image of the product is there only when your company is a DIALux partner. Then you have the informations, the power, the flux, luminosity, the color temperature, the CRI, etc. And you have a bunch of informations under here. This is the polar LDC. Can go to configure page and then hide or show, check or uncheck a lot of informations about your product. You can go to, if we move this one a little bit here, this one goes up. If by default DIALux shows us the polar here. If you want to show the linear, the cone, luminance, etc., go inside and then you check show on page. Then you have a bunch of informations again here that it depends on your project if you want to show or hide them. Cone, show, luminance, show, luminous intensity table, show, luminance table, show. And then you have the header and footer again if you want to hide it or show it. Let's go back to the page view. It takes some time because we have changed a lot, and my computer is not the best, as I told you. And now we have some additional informations: linear LDC, luminance diagram, product data sheet, etc., etc. But I prefer not to include these product data sheet in my report, because it's better to send your client the actual data sheet you have. It's better, it has more informations, it's it's done the way that suits your company, etc., etc. And if you go back to configure page, if you don't want to show any of these, can go to reset to DIALux standard settings, and all of them are going to disappear unless the polar one. And if you want to hide it too, you can go and uncheck it. But I will leave it like this, and they will go back to page view. I will not include this part here in my project. I will go down to site. It says site 1. I can change the name if I want by going to construction, and here it says site 1. I can make it site, just site, it's enough. Because we can make, we can have a lot of sites, but site is enough. Then in the site we have a description. I can include this one here, and here is the description DIALux suggests us. I will leave it like this. I will just go and click on this layout here. I want this image to move a little bit to the middle, just like that. And I have some images, I can include them too if I want. And it says click here to change images. Okay, I click there, and here are some suggestions. I want maybe this one here. I'll say apply. And if you want to add more images, go back to configure page, and well, not here, you just click on the image and you go to the image you want to add. Maybe you want to add this one, you go to this plus here and you say add image to page, and it's gonna be added. We have the first one, and then if we scroll down we have the second one, and this layout is this one, which is an image and a text next to it. But I don't like this one here because it gives like so small photos. I don't like them. I like this one here more. You know, the images are bigger like this, and you also have the text next to it. You can also use this one here, just images without any writing, or this one here, like an image in every page with a text and red, just like this. Look at this. This is a normal view, and there is some I don't know what is there. It's not normal anyways. As for that, I prefer using the ray tracer that I will show you in some minutes. And then you have another layout here. It's a landscape layout, and it's like this. It gives bigger photos. Well, it's not this one here, I wanted this one, sorry. And here's how it looks. Big images like this. And here it says luminaire list, luminaire layout plan first. I go and click on it, and it gives me an overview of all the used luminaires and where they are used. I mean, here is the luminaires for my main street. These ones are for the road, and these ones here are for the pedestrian path. And you know, by seeing this, your client understands exactly what's going on. You have, I want to include this one. I also want to include the luminaire list. If you go and click on it, you have this. You have it says that I have used 10 of this product and 11 of this product here, and some informations, article number, article name, etc., etc., and the flux. This is the total flux, the total power, and the luminous efficacy, etc., etc. And then calculation objects, I want to show that too for sure, because I want my client to know where I have measured the lighting. This is what you see when you click on the calculation objects, site calculation objects, and it says here is the first surface, S1, for the pedestrian path. Here is the second one for the main road, and here is the third one, and it was for this road here. If you go to configure page, you have all these elements. You can hide or show luminaires, furniture, dimensioning, reference lines, text, room elements, apertures, etc., etc. You can just go and hide or show these elements depending on their importance in your project. Work plane, this is the European standard for outdoor workplaces. Utilization profile, calculation without furniture, calculation without reflections on surfaces, etc., etc. You can go and write something there. If you wanna hide or show the header and footer, if you wanna show the site or not, and you can go to these corners here and use that for on all the pages, maybe a standard, or just go to the DIALux standard, etc., etc. But I will just leave it like that. If you have noticed it, we are going from the general to the more specific. like cover page, content, contacts, etc., product data sheet, site, and then we are going to the area, main road, pedestrian path, etc. So let's go to description. I want to include it, of course, so I go and check it, and then I click on it. And here is what I have. By default, which is, wow, this is just amazing. By default, it shows me this, and this is the main road. We have, drawn that surface somewhere there, the area somewhere here, and by default, DIALux gives me this view here. Wow, well, I don't know if I would change this one here. I'm fully satisfied, this is just perfect. DIALux knows where is the main road, and it took this view for me. Wow. I will just go and change this layout here. That's just, I'm satisfied, If I want to change this one, I will go and, to the same view and take a ray trace. I don't know if I would be able to take this one, for my description, but to be honest, this one here is just perfect. If I want to change this one here, I can go to suggestion, and I can look. DIALux suggests me, views where there is my area, which is just amazing. Just wonderful. Okay, I will go back to this one here. I like it more. I will not crop it, nothing. I will just say apply. I will go to configure page, and there's, let's go back here. Yeah, it's just nice. I will now go to images. If I want some, and of course DIALux is going to suggest me some nice images again for this main road. Wow, I will take this one here. Maybe I will say apply. This one here is enough. You can add more if you want, and if your project or your clients need that. And then you need to include summary, of course, because it's, the summary has all the necessary informations, and it's like that. I will just go and hide this layout alternatives here. Main road summary, it's basically like the indoor lighting, it's main road, and then you have, these false colors. You can go and change them if you want. Ground area, here is the area, and then light loss factor 0.8, it's fixed. Mountain height 5.1, this is the mountain height of my luminaires. Can go to configure pages, and they can change a lot of informations here. Luminaires, if I want to hide or show them, etc. It's or maybe I can just go to reset to DIALux standard. Here, reset to DIALux standard. You can go to, you can add or delete every information. Utilization profile here, and then you have all those informations here. Look, summary results 23, then the uniformity 0.4. It says that it's checked because the target value is 20 lux. The index is S2. Consumption values, lighting power density, luminaire list. It says that we have used 3, but this one here it has some limits, because I will show you why in the pedestrian path. Okay, this is quite everything for here, and you can also go and add some text. You can add some text, and then it's gonna show somewhere here. Where is it exactly? Yeah, it's there. Notes on planning, add text. You can go and write something there, etc., etc. And here is the utilization profile, general calculation areas at outdoor workplaces, regular vehicle traffic, max 40 kilometers an hour. I want to include this one, luminaire layout plan. I don't want to include this one here because it's already showed in here, luminaire layout plan, this general one. I will not add the luminaire list. I will the calculation objects here. It's basically I mean describing this work plane here. So I will directly show this one here because this one is useful when there are calculation objects, etc., etc. But on this case we only have the work plane, so I will just check the work plane only, because if I check the calculation objects it's just gonna be a repetition and I don't want that. Work plane, we have the isoline values on this chart. If you okay, let's just leave it like this. It says that work plane for the main road, perpendicular illuminance adaptive, height 0, wall zone 0, that means that we have no offset, the wall zone. And then yeah, that's pretty much everything. And I have a trick that will help you a lot in editing your output, which is like folding every part that you have finished. For example, I have finished this main road here. I'll just go and click on this little arrow and it's gonna, well, sorry, I have clicked on it instead, and now yeah, I have unfolded this main road, which means that I have finished it. I can go ahead and do the same for side, but if I go and do it for side, all of them are gonna be hidden. So see, all of them are gonna be hidden. I don't want this. I want to finish them first, and then I will go and click on this one. I will now go to the pedestrian path. Of course I want a description, so I will check it and click on it to see how it looks. And again, DIALux suggests this to us. Click here to change images. I am fully satisfied with this one, but I will take a look if there is something better or not. But I think, wow, a lot of them. But I think this one here is better, so I'm very satisfied with this one. I will just go and say apply. If I want to add images, I check images and I click images. And then I hover over this one here and I say, you click on it, and then you go down to pedestrian path. DIALux took these views for us, and it even named them pedestrian path, Nice, thank you DIALux. Okay, apply. Not yet. I will click here again and say that I want to add some images. Maybe I want to add this one, maybe. Okay, apply, even though I don't like it. It's just to show you how things are done. And then you go to summary, of course, that you want to show it. Calculation objects, you don't want to show it. Work plane, pedestrian. And then you can go and check this one. And I have a little remark here. You know why we don't have, let's go to, yes, main road, we have luminaire layout plan and luminaire list. On here, we don't have them. You know why or not? It's because these luminaires here are not are outside of the area we have drawn. If we go and click on this one here for the main road, DIALux took them into account, because if we zoom in, the luminaires, there is a little part of the luminaires that are above this area, and it's for that reason DIALux took them into account. But in this case, the case of the pedestrian path, if we go to light here and then to 2D view, look at these luminaires, the area is somewhere there, and this little part here is above it, and DIALux took them into account. But for these ones here, if we go to area here, spaces, sorry, I was was saying area all the time. Let's say spaces now, sorry. This, I mean space, is not like, I mean this luminaire here is not above this space, and this is the reason why it's not taken into consideration. But for these ones here, there is this little part that is above them, and it's the same for this one here. There is this little part above this space, but these two are in the sides, but they participate in lighting this space, but they are not taken into account, which is a little problem that maybe DIALux will improve in the upcoming versions. So on here we don't have, I mean, it's for that, and it's for that reason I didn't want to include the layout plan and the list and the luminaire list in this, I mean, main road. So I will have the same in all the spaces. Description, images, summary, calculation objects, I said it's the same as the work plane. So I will go and fold this part here and fold the main road, and now there's only this one here remaining, the secondary road. I go to description, you check it, and then you click on it. So here is the secondary road. If I'm not happy with this description, I can go and click again on it, and then I have bunch of other, I mean, descriptions here, but I'm okay with this one. I will say apply, and then I will include images, and then click here to change images. I will go to the bottom and then select this one here. Well, I shouldn't have, yes, okay, apply. And if I want to add more, I will, if I want to add more, I will go to, okay, to the bottom again and maybe choose this one. Well, I clicked on it twice. No, I wanted to add an image rather. Okay, apply. I don't know if I have added a second one. Yes, there are two now. If I don't like this layout, I can go to layout alternative and choose this one maybe, or someone you like. Okay. And then the summary, of course, you want the summary luminaire layout plan. If you go and click on the luminaire layout plan, as I told you, only one luminaire is going to be shown because it's the only one that is above the space. Okay, here is it. It's only showing one, but it's not true because the one here and the one here are contributing in the lighting of this space too. Okay, luminaire list. I'm not going to include it because in general in this part here it's gonna say that there is only one luminaire, which is not true. And maybe in the upcoming versions of DIALux, maybe it would be cool if we will have the possibility to include which luminaires are contributing in lighting this or this area, but I will not include these ones here. Anyways, they are included in the summary part, even though I don't really want them to appear there. They are there. You scroll down and then you have them here, luminaire list. I wish I could, I mean, like uncheck them somewhere here, but I didn't find any, I mean, anything related to them. Anyways, the calculation objects, work plane only, and then you have the glossary. The glossary is you want to include it only when your client, when the concerned people don't know, don't have any basic informations about lighting. But if your client, but if the concerned people are like proficient in lighting, etc., it's just some basic informations that, I mean, the people in lighting design need to know. Color temperature, clearance height, CRI, daylight factor, the light output ratio, the uniformity, the illuminance, adaptive horizontal, perpendicular, etc., linear, LLMF, LMF, LSF, luminance, luminous efficacy, etc., etc. As I told you, if the concerned people need to know that, you can just go ahead and check it. But then if you think it's not needed, then uncheck it. And then now our page selection is ready. You can go and say show entire documentation, and DIALux is gonna calculate the entire documentation, and then you could just go ahead and save it. But if you want, for example, to have the same page selection in the future, you can go and export it here. Favorite page selection, and then maybe I want it in the desktop, and then you say save. And yes, maybe in the next project I want the same page selection. I will just go to the folder where I saved it, and then you say import, then you open it, and then you have it. I mean the same selection. But now I will go and show the entire documentation here. Once the calculation is over, you can scroll down and take a look on the final report before exporting it. So here's the core page, some text there, then the content. As I told you before, the content is this now because here are all the elements we have included. If you go further down, there is the description of the site, and then the images. The remaining thing now is just exporting it. You go and choose the page format, and then you save it. PDF, Word document, PowerPoint, Excel, but these ones, as I told you in the beginning, you need to pay for them, so PDF. In the PDF, you just say, you click page range, all, then settings, allow editable, no, image compression method, JPEG. You have other choices here. Image resolution mode, exactly, no more than auto. Image resolution 400 dpi. You can go and choose more, but your file is gonna be so heavy. Then the image quality 80%. You can go and write the value you want. I don't know, maybe this is the default. Then PDF compliance, no, I just want it like this. Embedded fonts, export rich text as image, no. And then you have document security. You have user password, owner passwords, encryption key length, etc. A lot of other informations that you want to add or not, and digital signature, etc, etc. Open after export, you can check or uncheck this one. I will uncheck it, then okay. Maybe you want this one here, you can just save it here, or maybe change the name if you want it. And then it's gonna export, and it's gonna take me some time again because of my best computer in the world. I opened my PDF, and here's how it looks. Okay, you can go and make it a little bit bigger, something like that, and then scroll down. And here is what your client will see. Okay, all what we have done is just basic. We didn't take any view, any ray tracing, nothing. Now we will go and take some amazing ray tracing images. Let's go to, you go to export, and then RAYTRACER, Then go to the 3D view and let's take some fantastic views for our report, because the one we have made is just a basic one. But if you want to make something like crazy documentation, you need to have some photorealistic images. So let's maybe take this view here for the cover page. So maybe something like that. It's not that bad. Okay, you need to imagine yourself, you are a photographer and you want to take some nice photos for a product. So this is our product, and I'm now trying to find the best orientation. So something like that, it's not that bad. I want to show the top of these buildings too, so this is not that bad. I will just go ahead, you know, this resolution, I will go and choose the highest resolution I have, the 4K. You know, in the 9.2 we have a resolution of 3840 by 2160, and the last version, the highest resolution was 3200 by 2400, which is a great new feature DIALux have, DIALux 9.2. And now, you know, it's this ray trace takes all of the surface. It's not like the last version, it like trims these sides here because the resolution was not the same. Now all we see here is gonna appear in the image. So we can also go and add the HDR, the high dynamic range. I will go and use it. You can also create and save an HDR, but it's not gonna be working inside DIALux. You can use it like somewhere else in some photo editing softwares, but on here let's just go and start the ray tracing. It takes a little bit of time, but the result is gonna be nice, so it's worth it. Here is it. Just amazing. Look at it. Look at those shadows, look at the tree colors, look at the buildings. I mean, everything is just perfect. Let's just go and name it. Let's say maybe page cover, which means that we will use it for the page cover. Let's now take some views for the descriptions for this path, main road, and then for the road there, the secondary one. Okay, I will just go and take a view maybe like this. I want to show the road as well as the environment of that road. So this one here is not that bad. I will start the ray tracing. Just wonderful. Look at this. Okay, look at those benches there, the trees, these poles here, this asphalt. Wow. Okay, I will just say main road, and I will do the same for the secondary road. Maybe I want to take a view from this point, maybe something like that. Yes, something like that. And then I will start the ray tracing. And then this. Boom. This part here is not well lit, and it's for that these trees are a little bit dark. But yeah, anyways, we wanted to light this road. It's well lit and everything is nice. We can say main road and then the path of pedestrians there, which is pretty nice. Let's do the same for this pedestrian path. I want this view here. This looks stunning. Look at these trees. Wow, just amazing. Okay, I will just go and name this one here is pedestrian path, and this one here we didn't name it yet. If you double click it, it's gonna pop up like this. It's the secondary road. And then all of them are renamed. You can, you know, take as much as you want. You know, the more you take, the better is your report going to be, or your presentation, or I don't know, you know, or maybe if you just want to take a lot of photos to send to your clients. But with this four here, we are going to push our report to the next level. So go to the documentation. It's gonna take some time again, and then I go to cover page. I click on edit first, and then go to cover page, and you click here to change the images. And I will go this time to this one here, ray trace images, and then I have the four. I'll go to page cover. I say apply, and it's gonna take the place of this one here. It's charging, and it's there now. Look at the difference. This one here shows everything, you know, we have every part of your project, and it's a photorealistic image, which is like pretty awesome. Let's go and do the same for the site. No, maybe the main road. Let's go to the description. We could have taken another one maybe for the site, but you know, I have forgotten that. Anyways, it's not necessary for now, but if you feel like you need it, go ahead and take another one. Well, not here. I have the habit of the last version. Okay, main road, apply. And then it's there. Look at the difference again. This one here looks real, and yeah, it's more convincing. Go down to pedestrian path, do the same for description here, then you click, and then I am still in the ray trace, main road, apply, then it's there. I will go to layout alternative and move this photo to the side like this. I will make sure if it's the same for this one here, even though I think it's like this. Yeah, it's cool, it's in the middle. I'll go to this secondary road and do the same. Well, I click here, secondary road, apply. Look at the quality of this image, and then this quality here. Big difference. Okay, I will go. Ooh, pedestrian path. I forgot this one. Well, pedestrian path, I gave it the main road description. Well, sorry. I'll click on it and then go to pedestrian path and apply. And then go to main road and see what I did. You know, I gave it, well, description. I gave this, I mean, image twice to the pedestrian path and to the main road. Okay, this one here is okay. I'll just leave it like this. And maybe if I have taken a lot of images of ray tracing images, I could have like go and insert them here in images. But I think this is enough. It's I just want to show you how things are done, and yeah, this is enough. I think I will just go and click on edit here and then show entire documentation. But this file here, I mean this report, is gonna be heavier than the previous one. Once the documentation is calculated, you got this. Again, it's the same elements, same content. I will go and save it to PDF, all the same informations. I will say this time open after export and then OK. I want it here, maybe I will say maybe this one, and then yep, it's gonna take some time again to export. It's exported and it's gonna open now, and it's here. Look at the difference. I mean, if we make this one a little bit bigger like this, let's go and open the previous one. Look at the difference. I mean the image quality, this one here and this one. Let's make this one a little bigger too. This one looks real. This one here is just like okay. Anyways, I forgot to tell you about this, I mean, layout tab here, but you know, it's not that complicated. Just go and play around with it, and if you have any difficulties or questions, just ask me in the comments down below and I will be so glad to answer you. Alright guys, I think that's it for this video. In the next one I will tell you about AutoCAD exportation, and if you are not subscribed yet to my channel, go ahead and do it and hit that bell button not to miss any video that I will be uploading every week. So bye for now.